Hello, this is a presentation of Vygotsky and his theory of the zone of proximal development by Bryn Coriel. Vygotsky was born in 1896 in Western Russia. He died in Moscow in 1934. He authored Mind and Society, a volume translated and compiled by a group of dedicated scholars pursuing the development of higher psychological functions and specifically how children learn. To frame this discussion, we will talk about constructivism. Constructivism is a set of theories about learning that falls somewhere between cognitive and behavioristic views. If behaviorism treats people as a product of their actions without considering their internal mental state, cognitive theory recognizes the importance of the mind and the material within it. Regardless, in learning, it can be assumed that the role of the learner is still to assimilate whatever the teacher presents. Constructivism, as a social cognitive theory, suggests that the learner is engaged in a shared experience of creation with the teacher. Cognitive constructivism focuses on the acquisition of knowledge through developmental stages. A pioneer of cognitive constructivism is a man named Piaget. Hi there, I'm Piaget. Experiential constructivism centers on learning through direct experience as expressed by Dewey. Social constructivism emphasizes the way in which groups construct knowledge for one another. This is where Vygotsky fits in. One of the most significant contributions to social constructivist theory comes from Vygotsky in his theory of the zone of proximal development. The zone of proximal development is the distance between the actual development level as determined by independent problem solving and the level of potential development as determined through problem solving under adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable peers. Well, that's kind of confusing. What the heck does that mean? In simpler terms, the zone of proximal development is the difference between what learners can do without help and what they can do with the guidance of more knowledgeable mentors. Interpretations of the zone of proximal development. Through translations of Vygotsky's ideas, there have been a variety of interpretations of the ZPD. Individual. A child looking introspectively to recognize the learning that has matured and is still in the process of maturing. Dyadic. I know this says collective, but really this is dyadic. Through collaboration with more seasoned mentors, knowledge is gained and assimilated into experience. The collective. Through guidance by mentors, peer collaboration, and reciprocity, knowledge is modeled, imitated, tested, retaught, and internalized. In this interpretation, the zone of proximal development is actively and socially created. This collective learning does not require that we know how to do what we are doing, simply that we are building on our previous knowledge. This is the beauty in Vygotsky's work, and it is where creativity and play originate. Scaffolding is incorporated into this process at the stage of modeling, and imitation is the element of this theory that creates the paradox of individuals being able to expand their knowledge without necessarily actively recognizing this expansion. To recap, Vygotsky fits into the category of social constructivist. The zone of proximal development is a theory posed by Vygotsky that frames the area between unaided action and unattained action. Through collective learning, there is a process of modeling, imitation, guided observation, internalization, growth, and reciprocity. Scaffolding and imitation are key components to this theory. Now for an activity. For me and my specific interest in wilderness education, Vygotsky's theory resonates as the outward bound process model. In this model, the individual experiences a state of disequilibrium by being placed in a novel setting, like the wilderness, those are mountains, in a cooperative learning environment, while being presented with unique problem-solving situations that lead to feelings of accomplishment, which are augmented by processing of the experience, which in turn promotes generalization and transfer to future endeavors. The reason I feel this is a good example of sort of a Vygotskian example is that in this case, an individual in the wilderness may not be effective in processing through this scenario, but by collaborating with peers, being mentored by someone more experienced, they collectively and in a social environment are able to overcome obstacles, grow through that experience, process that learning, possibly even then teach others how to be successful in that environment, and ultimately grow their knowledge base and carry that on to future lessons used in life. The end. This has been a Velocity Stilts production by Bryn Coryell. Thank you.